Right. All right.
Am
Hi,
I the
everybody.
first female guest on for the show?
No, we've had
Oh, okay.
how many other female guests we had, Charles? We had
You
Thea.
legit are number two.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We had one of my friends that I knew back in the day from Calgary. She like moved to Mexico. She started doing that. What is it called?
Impact Wrestling.
No, the wrestling in Mexico.
Oh
Think,
man, I
think,
don't know.
think it was like Lucho. Oh no, Nacho Libre. But yeah. But she moved down there, started wrestling down there, then started wrestling Impact Wrestling. I think that's a Canadian company. And then she ended up marrying a guy in LA who's on WWE. Michael's guy, I can't remember his
Mike
name.
Morrison is his name.
Mike Morrison. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're the second athletic female that we've had on the show.
So
Amazing.
let's start that off with that. Hi everybody, how you doing? We've been chatting here with Amanda Ruller. I am Johan. That is Charleston. This is Better with Age webcast, and today's guest from Regina, Saskatchewan, the one, the only. This woman will amaze you with what she's done. I think she's done more than most people like in their lifetime, and she's very young. She's also one of the leading social influencers here in Regina. I know she's on every platform you could think of, and even some you don't know of, she's on it. Amanda Ruller, how are you doing today?
Well, I love that warm introduction. Makes me feel welcome. Like, thanks for having me.
No, but speaking of that introduction, let me see this. Let me tell you this. I got a little story for you. When I first got traded to Saskatchewan, didn't even land in the city yet. One of my good friends from college, he's a track guy. He's from LA, Long Beach, California. I lived with him throughout my whole college career. Even moved to LA for a little bit for him to train for track and field when I was running track and field in college. But that's for another topic. But he reached out to me, and he's probably one of your biggest fans. Like this is before I even touched Saskatchewan, and the first thing he said to me was, "Oh, that's where that Amanda Ruller girl's from." He was like, "Oh, I love her." He was like, "I'm her biggest fan." His name is Double A. So if you got this guy, this weird, strange guy from California following you on Twitter and all your social media, his name is Double A. That's my college roommate, and he is like your best friend. Say, "Hey man, you got to introduce me to Amanda when you get out there. She's an awesome person. I've been following her whole career, all this stuff. When she was in lingerie football, he knew more about you, and I didn't even know what you looked like at that point." But yeah, that's a little fun fact for you.
Amazing.
It is amazing. And one of the things that Charleston said a while ago is this is his first interview that he's done research for. So that is amazing in itself. But you have some amazing followers all over the world. I was looking at your stats for Instagram. You're over 100,000 followers.
Yeah. It's just something I kind of built up along the way. I kind of started my journey when I was doing bobsled and skeleton for the Canadian team when I lived in Calgary. And from there, it kind of grew into something bigger and bigger as I continued kind of my athletic journey and who I am today.
Yeah, I want to kind of get into that right now about your athletic journey, because again, I'm the one that does research. Charleston just comes on and is Charleston, but I'm glad to hear he was doing some research. I was doing some research and looking at all the different sports that you've played. I think you played everything, right? Have you played hockey? Women's hockey?
I have not played hockey. That's one thing I haven't played, although I do some broadcasting for the SAS Junior Hockey League. That's one thing I haven't done is played hockey competitively. Yes, of course I can. Yes, I was actually in competitive figure skating when I was young. Yeah, I know, it's like everything. I don't know.
Okay, so figure skating, check. Track and speed, you said yes, you've done. Football, check. Bobsledding, yeah.
Yes.
Skeleton, yeah. Olympic weightlifting, yeah. What else? What do you like? Holy, like that alone.
I feel like she the female version of myself, because I can practically play any sport right now if I
Yeah,
just went out there and gave it a whirl. Feel like I do it. Have you curled before?
I have. Yes, yes. Right, because I just love sports in general. So I honestly, like, I'll try a lot of things. Especially as somebody is, I'm a personal trainer for athletes for speed coaching. So I always want to try a sport. So recently, I actually got into rugby, so I can help coach rugby athletes a little bit better.
Nice. So Charleston, we just got him on the ice. We did a show with Ben Hebert a few weeks ago, and we got Charleston on the ice for the first time ever. And I bet him that he wouldn't be able to get a rock in 10 shots into the rings. Second shot, he got it in the rings. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But finesse game strong.
Right. Yeah.
So out of all the sports that you've played, all the journey that you've went through in your sports career, what is your top two? You only get two. What do you think you are the best at? Top two.
I'm very good at track and field. That's considered a sport in my eyes. So sprinting, so anything from 60-meter, because I broke a few university records when I attended the University of Regina, to 100-meter, 200-meter. That's kind of my bread and butter. I stay short. Speed is what I'm very, very good at. And from there, football is the second sport that I'm very good at. I played running back as well as corner. I use my speed, to get the play going. And I love sports and being competitive. And I think those are two sports as a female that I've been able to showcase what it's like to have speed and power as a female and be a big strong girl and be proud of that. And I think that's very rare.
So your choice, NFL, CFL.
Oh, can I say NFL? Well, I do quite enjoy CFL. I know. Sorry. I do enjoy CFL, although you know what? I'm so sad that there's no CFL this season. So I'm having a little withdrawal. So I'm watching a lot of NFL. So maybe NFL at the moment, but when I'm deep into CFL season, I'm into it. I love it.
Good answer. Smart answer.
Yeah.
Do that with
Yeah.
So tell me about this lingerie football. I've been to one lingerie football game during it was the Super Bowl, I think, down in Miami. It was a lingerie football game, Super Bowl. I was sitting on the side. I was on the sideline. I had a press pass, acting like I was a camera guy and and faking it and stuff. And after the girls out there, surprisingly, they hit harder than some of the players that I play with right now. And I mean that when I say that. Like, these girls were explosive. They were fast. I thought it was going to be real kind of girlyish, but when they started tackling each other and making contact, I was like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
These girls can hit. So tell me about playing in LA. Did you come close to winning a Super Bowl when you were there? Like, how was it? How was your time there?
Yeah, definitely. So I was actually doing skeleton at the time, and I saw a lot of the lingerie football league on TV, and they actually had just transitioned into Legends Football League. So it was a little bit of difference. They were kind of cleaning up the uniforms from being really sexy to just sports bras and shorts, right? So that's exactly what I competed in track and field in. I competed in that uniform for quite a long time in track. So for me, the transition was seamless, because I already competed in front of thousands of people in a very similar uniform. So I actually drove to Los Angeles and I did an open tryout for the team, and I ran the 40. I ran a 4.75, and they didn't quite believe me. No, they didn't. They made me run it again. I remember, because they thought there was something wrong with their stopwatch. So I did it again, very consistent, and they actually still told me I was too, because I'm 5 feet. They said I was too short to play. So they said, no, we're not going to take you on. But I was going kind of through this transition in my life. Sad to say that when I was here in Regina, my dad had just passed away. So to me, I wasn't going to accept a no. I was going to Los Angeles, and I was no friends, no family. I wanted to just start something new. And I know you guys can understand that when you have your hearts, just you want to go try something new and get into a new headspace, right? So I actually showed up at their practices, And I sat on the sidelines for a bit, and I watched, and they let me come in, right? They let me practice with them a little bit, and I ended up making the team, all because I pushed, because I wanted to do that for myself. I wanted to make myself a professional aspect in that case. Um, and that was just something, like a huge goal I wanted to achieve. And me just being on that team was such a game changer in itself for my life, because it kind of took me in this new direction where I never thought I would go. I made so many different friends in another country. And I know you guys can understand that. But it is kind of scary, going to another country and starting anew. But I had to, for my personal self and my headspace. And it was something that I was going to be excited about, because my dad always took me to CFL games watching the Riders. And he always told me, you can be as good as these guys. You can be as good as these men athletes. So I never thought I would be just an average female. Like, I thought that I could be as good as a male football player. So I'm going to go get that dream for myself, no matter who's going to tell me no.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, like, people thought you'd come to the games and you kind of look at the women's uniforms, but this is feedback I got from a lot of people watching, is you kind of forget about the uniforms, because it is quite hard-nosed football. Like, we're tackling and literally nothing, and I'm getting up and I'm getting to the next play, right? Whereas that might be a struggle for someone else. We just had to do it, and it was kind of entertainment at the same time. But the speed and power of these athletes coming into the sport, girls with all different types of background. Mine was sprinting, soccer, bobsled, skeleton. People were softball, soccer, like everything under the sun. It was awesome to see these athletes come together. I don't even want to say just women. We were all just badass athletes coming together as one, with the same goal. Like, we all wanted to be this person, this sought after athlete that you probably see in a male aspect. We wanted to make that kind of bigger for females, and it was an empowerment for us.
Yeah, and anybody that has watched Legends Football League games or lingerie in the previous, I know when it was here in Regina years ago, probably 2012, 2013, there's 2 games that were played over here at the Brand Center. And oh my God, we were sitting up at the press box, and we were watching it. And I think we were in the Pats press box, but Don Narcisse came in and joined us, and we had a few people join us, and unbelievable, the athletes that were there, but also the physical violence that the women were creating on the field. It was just like, holy crap. And there was probably about maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people at that game in Regina. And I think everybody that we talked to after that game, we're going, we're getting season tickets, we're signing up, we're doing this, or we're like, yeah! It was crazy. And I know one for myself, my background is in rugby. I was one of the ones that started the first high school team in Saskatoon at Holy Cross, my old school, the first ones for females. I'd played male high school rugby there, but then I was one of the ones with some other friends and rugby players that we started the first females team. And then I went on to coach Saskatchewan women's in under 19, and watching these women play rugby is, you see the anger, you see the talent wise, you see the athletic ability of some of these young females, and then to be able to take that and take it to the next level at adult level, holy crap, so much respect in doing that. How was it to play in LA then? You're from Canada. I know you got the nickname that was called, you were called Canada, was it, or what was your nickname?
That was my nickname, Canada. Very original, right? But I was actually one of 2 Canadian women that played in the entire league. There was like me and then another girl in Seattle. And we actually got to play in the LA Coliseum. So, which is,
wow.
yeah, which is amazing, because like a lot of
How many
men
fans were there?
It wasn't packed, to be honest. I'm not gonna say we filled it out. Oh my gosh, like the most, probably 7,000 fans came out, but that's like still,
That's
yeah, right?
That's more than most Argo games.
Dang, you went there.
Yeah. And that's my team, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. So how was it?
It wasn't packed.
So how was it like then? You're playing in LA, you're playing this league, you're away from your home, your dad's passed. You must be pretty proud, but also you must be like, holy crap. Was ever one point you're going, what the fuck am I doing here? Or was it just like full on enjoyment, fun? the go-giver.
I think we all have those kind of moments like in our life, like every day. Like I could be here and I could be like, what am I doing? Like each day there, yes, I definitely had those moments where I woke up, I'm like, what am I doing? But to me, like it was, I just don't want to live like an average life. Like I felt like I was meant to do great things. And a lot of females, when you look at them, you're like, okay, a way that you show strength is by sometimes bearing children and being there for them and raising those children up and being strong for them, right? But just for me and my journey, I just felt like I wanted to be a professional athlete and my strength was going out there and attacking that. And whether there was days where I thought I wasn't doing the right thing and I need to go home, I stuck it out, right? And even for me, I made a couple smart moves. Like I wanted to explore more of the United States. So I traded myself to Atlanta actually in my one of my last years on LA. I
What?
did just because I've never been to that side of the states and I wanted to look at it. I
Traded
wanted to be
yourself.
there. Yeah. Like it was
Charleston,
like
is this an idea that you can do for the next few years here?
I don't know. I don't even. How did that come? How do you trade yourself?
well, the thing is it's just a year-to-year contract with the LFL. So
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah,
too far-fetched to trade yourself. So I
yeah. That
kind of they contacted me and I was just like, you know what, I should go because they were going to have a tryout and they're like, do you want to come? And I said yes. So I came out and I actually really enjoyed the area and I said, you know what, if I'm going to live in the States, I want to explore it all. And that's like the huge traveler in me. And I made it happen. I tried out and they wanted me as running back. So I ended up going and living in Atlanta for a bit.
And what's better, Atlanta or LA? I mean, those are two beautiful,
Ooh.
you know,
two different places too.
Two, I think it's too different to call which one's better. It's just because they're both have their charm and their culture and signature things that they possess because they're just so different that I enjoy them both for different reasons.
it's
And I
such
know
a
that's a very
political
like
answer.
political
I
answer.
know.
I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. If you get down to it, I love the ocean, so I probably liked maybe California a little bit more. I liked surfing because I took up surfing because there's obviously no
Go
surfing
figure.
here.
You took up something like that? Go figure. Jeez.
I know I always like to be active, so
Well, you've taken it more than Charleston. I think Charleston, have you ever surfed?
Man, I
On the
ain't
field.
getting up. I know it's sharks in the water. That's a no
I
no.
know.
Your
Yeah,
your chances of getting eaten by a shark go up tremendously as soon as you just touch the water.
exactly. Well, I'm okay, so we're all good. Yeah.
So where'd you go then after LA or after Atlanta then?
Actually, after I lived in Atlanta, I came home that year because I had got a job with the Saskatchewan Roughriders as a game day host for that 2017 season. So because the LFL had lost kind of like their TV contract, so I wasn't able to just stay in the States at that time. So I applied for a position here and I ended up getting it. So I came back because my family's here. Um, and Regina, I keep leaving it. I go to lived in Calgary and other places, but I keep coming back here because there's good people here, right? And it's such well, I know it's like such a community and I love being part of it. I know that's a corny answer, but like honestly, it's awesome. You can park anywhere, right?
Oh, wow. That's the benefits. That's what you're thinking. That's what Regina. I love it because you can park anywhere. That's a shirt or what?
Well, have you been to LA? You can't park anywhere.
That's like you say that, but that's like an extreme common thing. Like
Yeah.
I was in Calgary. I was in Calgary for 10 years. Everybody that's in Calgary is not from Calgary. So
Right?
you rarely bump into somebody that's like, yeah, I'm born and raised Calgary and I never left. No, it's not like that. But when you come to Saskatchewan, everybody Regina, at least, everybody that's in
Hmm.
Regina was born in Regina, has left and came back to Regina. And they're like, yeah, I'm born and raised here. Probably left, but came back. And everybody does that for some reason here.
Well, I mean, speaking for myself, I mean, I know that it's a feeling of, I mean, being familiar with everything here, but it's just a warm feeling when you get when I think about all the places I lived, Mexico City, 25 million people, and talk about not parking somewhere and doing that, or, you know, different cities that I've traveled to, been in the States, all over New York. I love New York every time. But you come back to Regina, and whether you're getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, you still put up with it. It's just somewhere where it's home. It's the people are so nice. You're familiar with it. It's just something that it's you never feel threatened. It's just it's so easy to be able to jump back into it and say, man, this is home. It's nice and relaxing. The people are polite. It's yeah, it's Saskatchewan. People, I mean, people love it here. So the weather sucks, and we're about to be able to get that into that. Charleston can't even handle the weather already, and it hasn't even hit -10 yet, and Charleston's already putting on his jackets and his toques and everything like that. So I don't know. So Charleston, did you know that Amanda won a car on The Price is Right?
What? Man, what the hell you doing on The Price is Right?
See, that's one of the benefits from being in Los Angeles at the time, is I was able to attend cool stuff like that. So I actually went up to the studio in like it's kind of like in West Hollywood area. So going to the studio, and I stood in line, and I wore a shirt like Drew picked me, and I ended up getting picked for the show. So before the show, you wait in line, and they interview every single person in line for like 30 seconds, and they ask, tell me about yourself. And I was like, I'm super Canadian, because I had a Canadian bandana, and I love Plinko, and I play football. And they were like, whoa, what? Like, they thought that was so cool. So if anyone wants any tips on how to get on a game show, be bubbly, be exciting, and show up to be just like original as heck. And I ended up just being called up. Like the first row is like the last person to be called up. And I remember just like running up to the front, and I flexed. I don't know why I did that. And it ended up being like the thumbnail, me flexing, of like the show on when it was on later aired. It was like the thumbnail when you clicked on the episode. It was so embarrassing. But they had a laptop and like some speakers, and everybody guessed before me. And I did a classic move. I guessed $1, and I ended up winning because everyone else went over. And I went up on stage, and they had the big board there is called high-low. So you get like one big novelty dice, and you have to like roll it in accordance to the price of the car. And I ended up doing it. So I won. I won a car. Yeah.
That is awesome. So did you bring it back to Canada? Do you still have it?
So what ended up happening is, because I'm Canadian, they actually had to cut me a check.
Oh,
So they cut me a check. No, that's fine, for the full amount.
Heck yeah, that's fine. I'll take the money too.
Yeah.
Give me the money. I don't want that car. What kind of car? Hold on, wait. What kind of car was it?
A Honda Sonata.
Yeah, give me the money.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting cut a check because I actually went to the Showcase Showdown, because I spun a 90 on the wheel, and I lost. But
man,
I know I went over. Oh, I should have studied or something before I went. And they cut me a check for just like the value of the car. And I ended up getting it, and I bought myself a car because, oddly enough, I was in an accident in the States, like with my vehicle I had. A drunk driver hit me on my driver's side. He blew a red light. So I ended up buying myself a brand new car. So it was like kind of weird fate. So yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how stuff like that happens
I
sometimes.
know, right?
It's like it was meant to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, all of it. So
so what are you doing now, Amanda? What, I mean, like if anybody wants to look, and we got usually viewers from Saginaw, Michigan, we got viewers from all over North America, we got viewers, you know, from all over Canada. If they want to Google you, you're going to find 1,000 pictures of you, probably 2,000 pictures of you. You're going to find your bio for everything on there, from Twitch to Twitter to Instagram to your 3 Down Nation. To tell, what are you doing nowadays? What's keeping you busy here in Regina?
Well, there's definitely a shift of what I'm doing, because there's not a lot of sports broadcasting going on. And I was doing some stuff with.
Yeah, you're doing that with the Riders, and then with like Rush. I know you're doing it, the lacrosse and Saskatoon.
The Sask Rush. I was in the in-game host for that, and I was working on a TV show called In the Huddle. So I was interviewing at the Rider games or at their practices, the players and coach. And then because that's not going on this season, I've kind of shifted gears to where my degree actually is. So I'm an exercise physiologist. I major kind of in strength and conditioning for athletes, and I'm a speed coach. So I did some speed coaching with the University of Regina Rams football team as their specific speed coach. Right now, as you know, there's nothing. So I'm transitioning to working with other athletes. I was doing outdoor training, and now I'm at the field house doing speed work with them, as well as I just did a speech with the National Strength and Conditioning Association about speed training for athletes. I did that on Halloween. I was really excited about that. And
Wow.
I'm doing a lot of speeches for schools, high schools, about how to be a social media influencer. I recently did one at the University of Saskatchewan, marketing class, online, of course, because
My old school.
oh, there you go,
Yeah.
because of COVID. But I'm able to do a lot of speeches about being an online marketer and what that all entails and how they can utilize that right now in this digital age. Because I see social media is basically you have real estate, right? And if someone wants to rent space on your real estate page, your social media page, they can pay you for that if they want to advertise on there. So I see it as such another marketing tool. And that's the way I'm making money is companies are asking me to sponsor items on my page as well as utilize their social media in the community.
Charleston, are you taking notes? We need Disco to be able
I'm
to
trying. I'm inquiring myself about this speed training now. She got to know what she's doing. She ran a 4.75. She fasted in about maybe, I would say about 60% of our team right now.
Oh, wow. All
So
right.
tell them that, yeah.
Okay, so then we'll get to see if Amanda
She
can work.
fast, man. She fast.
We'll see if Amanda can work with you on the speed, and then she will work with me on our show and be able to how to do more influencing, more social media, and more sponsorship. I know we got our friend Rob Peterson, the realtor, the Realty One realtor. He's one of our good friends and sponsors.
Nice.
Yeah, we need you to be able to help us out a bit, Amanda. So we're going to play on that and see what you can do for us later on.
Of course. Yeah. Anything like to help out and strengthen other people. Cause that's what I'm all about too, is collaboration and strengthening other people, because I think we're better in numbers and we know that from team sports, right? So yeah.
Yeah, plus it gives you some feeling of self-worth when you can really help somebody like that and, install what you know and your knowledge into somebody else to carry it on and do what they please with it, right?
Exactly. That's been huge for me is just helping, like going to schools. Like honestly, I'm doing it for free. Like a lot of this stuff I'm doing for free, and it just makes me feel good. And I know that's corny, right? But like honestly, it's kind of making me emotional too when I talk about it, because if I could just, help one person, that makes it all worth it.
We totally understand with that, and that's one of the things that we're lucky enough. We just did a little bit of a charity event this past weekend over at the Canadian Brew House, another good friend of the shows. We're down there on Halloween, and we were able to raise. How much did we raise, Charleston, in one night?
It was probably around $1,100. Yeah, one night.
That we threw towards breast cancer awareness. And so we were talking with the general manager over at the Ramada here in Regina. He was affected by cancer. He was given a 10%. Terry Groff, fantastic individual. But, people like that, when you talk to them and they had 10% chance to live, and their outlook after that, right, Charleston, when we talk to them, it's just so positive after. You kind of want to go, geez, if I can do more, if I can do this, if I can help out, why not? And it just makes you feel so blessed when it does to me anyway, that you can do that. And my oldest boy was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 2 years and a month. And he was given a 50-50 chance to live. And he's a survivor. So anything that you can do, I know you lost, Amanda, you lost your dad to cancer, brain cancer, right? And so I think that anytime we can do something like you're doing some for the schools and doing something for free, I mean, it's great. Do it. I mean, why not? If we can do something to help out somebody with a cancer, a fundraiser, let's do it. Let's help out. I love that attitude of giving, because it's what people need, I think, these days, especially during COVID, especially during this time when you have a lot more mental illness, mental kind of depression, and be able to do that. So good for you. That's awesome. One of the things that I saw when we were during COVID that really intrigued me, Amanda, is when we were probably in about April or May I kept on saying, okay, maybe Amanda would be cool to be on the show. And I said, Charleston, you got to check out her videos. I think from that time period, in 2 months, I saw about 742 videos of you upside down doing different things. What the fuck were you doing upside down all the time? You're doing handstands, you're doing throwing balls into cups, you were playing different games upside down, you were doing. Do you love being upside down all the time, or where does that come from? What's going on?
I love handstands. I was in gymnastics when I was a little kid, and I think it's such a good sport to like gain a base of balance, right?
Yeah.
And so from there, like I just like my party trick is to do handstands, and I know that's super weird, but I ended up perfecting one of those tricks where I can be upside down and use my toes to take my sweatpants off.
That's another thing.
Not against the wall, like a freestanding handstand. And that went like viral. I was so excited because I was like, yes, because it took all day for me to nail that. And nobody knows that because it was like a 10-second clip, but it took all day to nail that.
Do a handstand and pull your pants off with your toes.
Off, completely off.
Oh man.
Charleston,
huh?
Can you do anything right now with Charleston upside down? Can you try? Can you do a handstand even?
Yes, I can do a handstand, first of all. Because I have great balance.
Are you wearing pants right now, or are you able to demonstrate that, or no?
Every time we're on this show, I never have pants on.
Next time,
quote of the day.
Yeah.
We're gonna do another video then, Charleston. Please wear pants.
No, we will post just for your sake of me doing a handstand. Look, you know what? Right now I don't got no pants on.
We'll let you go on this one with the pants. We'll be able to do that. But that's awesome. And Amanda, also you were doing some stuff with. I saw you were doing push-ups with White Claw. You had some White Claw that you were doing some cool different.
So I actually stacked 2 White Claws on my hands here and on my hands here, and 2 on my feet and 2 on my feet. So I completely balanced my feet and my hands on them. So just like cans like this, and I stacked them, and that was so hard. And then I put the White Claw case on my back and I did push-ups. And that was so hard because the tower fell like a few times and it took like 5 or 6 takes, but I finally got it.
And it is entertaining. People, if you want to watch entertainment.
I don't even know where she come up with this kind of stuff at, but I mean, it was a great idea, but it wouldn't work for somebody like me.
You know what? And I fully admit to that, because I honestly said, you know what, if I weighed any more than I did, I feel like these cans would just crush under the weight. No, to be honest, because other people are like, should I try it? I'm like, I don't know if you should, because I felt like I almost crushed it because they were like caving under my hands.
Yeah.
But
I remember seeing that one, and I thought about it. I was like, man, I should try that. I should try that. Then I started thinking about that. Man, those little cans, I will crush those cans.
Charleston Downey gets hurt doing a video like that. What about another, again, so many videos that you've done have gone viral. This is another one that I loved. Is it the video where you crushed the beer cans and you were imitating Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah, that was really, really interesting, because it was actually at a charity event for Swinging with the Stars, and my group, we did a WWE theme dance, and at the end I did the Stone Cold like crush the cans and go like this, and someone got a really, really awesome picture of me just like this, right? And the guns are blazing. And I tweeted it at Stone Cold, and I take because I put his picture and my picture side by side. We look like twins, by the way. I said, who did it better, me or Stone Cold? And Stone Cold tweeted me back. He's like, nice technique, pretty good technique. The arm could be bent just a little more, but pretty good overall. And that tweet went viral, like, because I got picked up by like everyone, like Yahoo News called me, the Chive called me, CBC, everybody wanted to know, like, do I know Stone Cold and how did this come about? And like it was so crazy. I couldn't believe just a simple tweet can go such a crazy way, and just getting that on camera, because I wanted to do it and somebody told me don't do it, that might not be great to showcase like a woman double-fisted beers. I was like, just watch me.
Yeah.
If they can do it, I can do it. Why not?
That's right. Yeah.
Well, one
Life's too short. Yeah.
one thing I just thought about, we should try and see, we're using your star power, Amanda, and Mr. Hughes' star power. We should see if we can do something to get The Rock on. Talk about XFL. Mr. Charleston loves, Charleston, do you like The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He's not coming on now.
No, who don't love The Rock, man? I mean, one time, because I had a similar scenario before. One time, I think we were going to Grey Cup, and I like posted something about, The Rock and how he played in the CFL. I never knew that, and I heard a lot of people like mentioning him, during the Grey Cup and stuff like that. And then once I posted it on Twitter, he actually reached back out to me and said, "Hey man, good luck in your Grey Cup game that's coming up." He was like, "I still watch the CFL from time to time."
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. And be able to do that. I think that's the one thing I love about social media and Twitter, and you do that where you can reach out, and you can reach out to all these cool people. That's how I got a hold of Amanda's, reaching out on Twitter, and you can reach out. It makes you feel, I know Charleston does a lot of work too on Twitter, and he's very interactive too with fans, which I think as a fan myself, it makes you feel kind of cool. Like Amanda, you said when you got that rush when it's Stone Cold, he's coming back, he's liking it. You're like, yeah. It gives you that cool feeling. Or Charleston, when The Rock's coming back to you, how do you feel? Like it just makes you feel, okay, yeah, this is cool. You feel like a kid again, right? And you just feel,
yeah. I mean, it was unexpected, trust me. So it was like, oh shoot, he responded. And he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He told me, you know what? Thanks for doing that. Yeah, I can appreciate that though.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Amanda, what else are you doing now? I know we talked a little bit about some of the work that you're doing just with all the other businesses. Tell me a little bit about your charity work too. I know you're doing some stuff with the charity. Are you doing something right now with the charity, I believe?
I'm just trying to do as many charity events as I can. Like usually it's very loaded when I'm just always trying to do stuff with the Brain Cancer Association of Canada, because obviously that means so much to me. And actually May is Brain Cancer Awareness Month. So every year I try to do something for that, come up with different ideas. One year I even made ribbons, like gray ribbons, because everyone loves pink or whatever ones, but sometimes people forget about gray, right? So I just try to do that for May. Otherwise, I'm in for any other charity that people ask me to be a part of. Like last year, I was part of Swinging with the Stars, and everything from I was doing a dunk competition for the business society. Was just trying to raise money, and I got in a dunk tank. It was freezing. It was actually winter. I'll do anything for anyone in the community to help, because I mean, I don't see myself as like a huge star, but maybe they do. That's cool. If that brings out one other person that thinks that I'm awesome, that's great. If I can help the community in any way, and I'll do that. We're actually trying to raise money this Saturday for the Children's Hospital. My brother and I are going to be doing a video game streaming on Twitch. So I know that's like I'm just trying to think of new ideas, right? So we're just going to video game stream, and then while we're streaming, we'll probably do an all-day stream, and you can just donate a couple bucks here and there. If we make some money, cool. If we don't, I mean, my brother and I had a good bonding day, and I'll probably end up donating money myself. So
you did send me your code for Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that. I remember seeing it too.
Yes, anyways, I love playing COD. I know that's wild, because I recently took up streaming on Twitch. So I stream COD and Madden, and sometimes I'll play NBA 2K, and then Uno. I know that's a weird one.
Uno, yeah. I gotta go download Uno now. I'm gonna see what you made of it. All four of them.
No, add me to Call of Duty, and we'll go in there and
for the people. Go on and give me your gamer tag right now.
Ooh, it's Rue Ruthless. Rue underscore ruthless, and I think there's some numbers. That's my Activision account, so there's some hashtag numbers if you want my COD account, but I forgot what they are.
Are you, Charleston, are you on Twitch?
I'm not on Twitch. I haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah, that's the one thing too. I was like, once it came out, and my kids were saying, "Oh, I'm on Twitch. I'm like, what the fuck is Twitch?" You know, I can Instagram and Twitter and everything else. And I said, Twitch, I'm going to leave that for a while and then be able to do that. But so, Amanda, if you're not playing sports, you're video gaming sports, you sound very active and do that. And then also in the community. That's awesome. So you have your number one love is track and field. Number two, football. Do you have an NFL team that's your favorite?
The Chicago Bears. I know. Why? I don't, growing up in like a CFL family, I never had any ties to a true NFL like we never had a family NFL team. So I kind of was free to go wherever I wanted, kind of shopped around a bit because we were a Rider family first. And then I kind of just picked the Bears. I have no idea. There's no rhyme or reason. And I just stuck with it because my brother liked the Titans, and they're okay at best.
Well, the Bears doing good right now.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, they just had that really close game in overtime. I honestly think Nick Foles I think he's a good change from Trubisky. I will say that. A lot of people are hating him right now, but I really don't like Trubisky. That's all I have to say. That's about it.
We're trying to be able to get on. Well, we've tried a few times too. We're trying to be able to get on Mr. Henry Burris of the Chicago Bears coaching.
Yeah.
Ask him the same thing. What the fuck is wrong with Trubisky? And
what's going on? Yeah. It was weird because he came out, it looked like he was doing okay the first couple games, and I was like, is it like the no crowd making you perform better? I don't know. But then obviously not. So then they put in Saint Nick, and then he's doing good. So
nice.
That's awesome. So out of all that, because track is my favorite sport too. Everybody thinks it should be football, but
I didn't know that. That's
cool. Football is my number one sport. I've always liked track and field. I grew up running track, always been fast, always been a hurdler and a decathlete. So I know about competing and being at a high level when it comes to track. And I just like it because it's always exciting. It's always exciting to watch the 60-meter dash, the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, the 4x4, the end of every track race is always the exciting races because it's all about who's the fastest, who's the, I guess, could potentially lose in the long run. You just because you're the fastest don't mean you're still gonna win. Like anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. I think that reigns so true because I think sprinting is the apex of athleticism and altogether, right? So if you're fast, you basically can go in any speed and power sport. And I will tell you, when I watched 4x2, I would lose my voice because I'd be cheering so hard for my teams. I'm like, like you just lose your mind.
Go figure. I somehow think you'd be one of the best cheerleaders out there. Also for your teams, you'd be just with your personality and getting to know you. I think I could hear you a mile away cheering for your teams and cheering you on. But also to do a 4.740 is that's pretty impressive to be able to do that. That's
fast, man. How did it feel when you had practice and then you beat some of the guys in a race? Like, do it make the guys kind of feel bad, or you like take it in and just?
Yeah, I actually felt really good about it. I know. Because in my sprint group, they actually put me in the guys group. So I was very competitive with the guys when we were doing starts because our 10-meter was so close. Like it was a race, like either I would beat them or they would beat me some days. But whenever we did starts to 10 meters or something, like it was crazy close. And I ended up, I was on the track team when Tavon Campbell was on the track team as well. And him and I did starts together all the time. And there were sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? Pick it up. Like I had to tell him sometimes, and he'll probably be embarrassed, but I just wanted to compete. And if it was against people that were the same speed as me, that's what I wanted to do. Because honestly, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, right? Because if you're always going to just run the same speed with being the best, you're not the best out there. You won't be the best overall.
Very true. Very true.
That's actually pretty awesome. Yeah, because I had a situation like that too when I was in college. Running track, we were, doing some kind of conditioning, running 600, 300, 200, 110s or
You
something
were
crazy
doing a
like that.
600-meter. Hold on. You were doing a 600-meter?
I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
tempo, like.
Oh yeah, it was all tempo. It wasn't
Yeah.
competition. It was just trying to get your conditioning. I had to run 400-meter hurdles. That's why. So you gotta,
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense then.
you gotta condition yourself for that type of race. And I remember a girl named Danielle Miller, the only girl that's ever, and she was fast. She was like just about a 11 second 100-meter runner. So she was like a pretty fast girl. And I remember one time we were doing like some 110 sprints at the end of a workout, and we're coming, and I'm taking off, and next thing I know, she just come flying past me. And then I look like, oh shit. She legit just beat me, and I was kind of running my hardest that I can run. And then I was thinking like, I need to get it together. Like I was like, I don't know how hard she was trying, but I know I was at the end of my workout and I was giving it. And then she just come right past me, boom, right at the end. And I was thinking like, I know she fast, but am I getting slower? Then it hurt me deep inside. So Danielle, if you're watching this, you did beat me that one time and hurt my feelings.
I know Charleston doesn't like to lose at anything, more or less, to someone in track and field, to Danielle. So I can vouch for that. Yeah.
Even my daughter right now, my oldest daughter knows 100% you gonna have to try to beat me. Like I'm not just gonna give it up. I'm not the dad to just give it up to let you feel some pride and all. No, you got to earn it.
You gotta take it from there.
Good, push her. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
Amanda, one of the last questions I want to ask you is that how do you feel about what was her name? Emma Marie Dale, that the first female football player in the Canadian Junior Football League that just started to play with the Saskatoon Hilltops. How do you feel that's Charleston, did you know about that story?
Never.
Okay, so she's a Saskatoon gal. She played football for the Saskatoon Valkyries. The Saskatoon
Valkyries.
Valkyrie.
Yeah, so she played out there. She was a linebacker, and now she performed that well that she was able to be she was a linebacker, outside linebacker, I believe. I'm not sure, but she's able to take her game and she was asked by the Hilltops to come on and be the first female player in Canadian Junior Football League history. Amanda, does that A, how do you feel about that? And B, does that motivate you to play with the Riders next year?
Well, I can definitely out sprint some of them. So
Yeah.
I'll have to come to an open.
Accepted. Let's see.
I'll have to come to an open Riders tryout. I'll interview them and then I'll come try out. But I'm so happy. I mean, me driving to Los Angeles years and years and years ago when there was no football here altogether in Saskatchewan, and doing an open tryout for football because I wanted to play as a female pushed the envelope for me to explore football. And seeing women being able to play football in Saskatchewan now, and especially on a male level, playing with the guys, that's so inspiring. That's so empowering. Obviously, it is a very male-driven sport, and we're kind of changing that a little bit. We're opening up the conversation. We're having it right now about females being immersed in this sport, right? And it is such an amazing sport. To me, it's kind of poetry in motion, right? When everything comes together. And it's so great to see that she got that opportunity because that wasn't there for me, right? Yeah. So now we're making history. Me being in the LFL, and they just shut it down, right? So there's no more LFL. They're rebranding it as, I think, the X League or something. But to be honest, I was part of the last time there'll ever be like the Legends Football League. That's history. And like, whenever you Google it, I'll be part of the last team that got to play that. And her being here now and making that history as being the first woman to do that. And I was the first female to be part of the University of Regina football team on the staff as a speed coach. There wasn't any other females coaching these men before. It's just breaking those little boundaries or barriers as we go, right? And I think that's so unique and so cool. Maybe in a place as Saskatchewan, sometimes we are a little bit behind the times with stuff, and breaking those barriers is it's awesome. It's cool to see it happen. I mean, I grew up here, and just to see it happen is amazing.
You get the feel, I don't know you, Charleston, I get the feeling from you that you're filled with so much pride for Saskatchewan, pride for females, pride for the sports in general, and to be able to have that all come together. That's awesome. You know who she reminds me of, Charleston, is anytime a few guests ago we had Mike Pinball Clemens on, and that kind of energy I get from you, and your kind of sense of passion and your love for what you do, and just that you have that type of personality. So and you're both almost the same height, but still you take that as a compliment, because Mike Pinball Clemens was one of my idols growing up, and just when Charleston quoted said on Twitter afterwards, when Mike Pinball Clemens talks, he's got a way of making everybody listen. I think the same thing it is with you. When you talk, we want to listen, we want to hear more. And with all your social media outlets, I think that's a great way for us to be able to do that and to check you out. So Charleston, anything else you wanted to add or say to Amanda?
No, not really. I mean, you've had a amazing life, an amazing journey so far, doing all the things that you do. I mean, we didn't even remotely talk about all this powerlifting and how much weight you can put up as far as powerlifting goes. I don't even know 88 kilograms. How much is 88 kilograms in pounds? I'm American.
Around 200. So I actually hold the Saskatchewan record for snatch and clean and jerk in my weight class. So I'm 55 kilograms, which is around 121 pounds, and I can snatch about 170 pounds above my head, and I can clean and jerk around 200 pounds above my head. So,
don't mess with that. Are you still going? Is that one of your goals that you're still continuing to do right now? Is the Olympics?
That's one of my biggest goals right now is just to make Team Canada. I was kind of on a journey to do that right before COVID kind of hit, and it kind of took away that dream, although I'm still working on it. So hopefully to qualify for a Team Canada coming up would be amazing for me. Otherwise, you know what? Team Canada football is again next year. So hopefully I want to stay in shape and do another. We all have to try out again, right? So I'm going to try out again for Team Canada football when everything starts getting going. Team Canada Olympic lifting. I don't think my athletic career has come to an end yet, although I do have some things on the back burner. I am a coach, right? I am able to do some stuff in the media. I think athletics for me is my calling first, and I'm going to use that until I can't run, jump, throw, whatever first. That might be in like 10 more years. I don't know, but I'm 32, and a women's peak actually for speed is somewhere between around 30 to 35. So I'm in that range where I'm still able to get some personal records, personal best, still be fast, strong, powerful. So I'm going to utilize that as much as I can.
Good for you. You're going to be doing that. Charleston said he's going to be playing CFL football for another 6 years.
Yes.
I'm going to be selling beer for another 12 years. Oh, we're all good. We're all good. Everything's going to be great.
Right. We'll reconvene.
That's why I said we barely even breach, talking about a lot of the things that you do. And that's why I said I feel like you're like a female version of myself, because I like to try different stuff, do different, stay active. Right now I'm doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. So it's like I'm doing all this different stuff just to, challenge myself physically in what I can do or what people think I can't do. And it's just about challenging yourself and keeping yourself as active as possible, which I find is amazing. When I view you as the same way people view the female coach that's in Arizona right now with the Cardinals. And I can see you kind of guiding towards that, where you're going to be coaching running backs in somewhere. You're going to be coaching, speed coaching, strength and conditioning coaching for a team somewhere. And
She's gonna be
it's
your
definitely
teammate
gonna
next
happen.
year, Charleston. She's gonna be.
I know, man. I know, man. But when it's destined to happen, it's destined to happen that way. So
Yeah.
you just gotta accept it the way it comes sometimes.
I definitely appreciate you saying that, because it would make me extremely happy to be able to work with football athletes on any spectrum. And I think hearing that just from you, that you see that for me too, it means more to me than you probably know. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. But before we go,
Okay.
one last thing. Can you please explain this photo behind me? Like, what's up with this dive right here? I don't even
I
know
don't
if everybody can see this.
I don't even
Hold
know
on,
how
there it
you
is. There
found
it is.
that.
Hold on. Which way am I supposed to move? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Look
What a
at that.
fun
Are
photo.
you scoring
She's
right there? Is that a
Superwoman.
touchdown? And how are
I
your
think
hands that
so.
big to palm that damn ball? Like, talk to me about this photo.
Yeah, quite an interesting photo. So I do a lot of different photo shoots, because a lot of people want to work with me and do shoots, which is awesome. Because a lot of people like to do active shoots, because I am a female athlete, right? So one of my the photographer for this one said, "Why don't you set up a couch?" Because this was on a green screen, and me hold the ball. I know my hand's not very big at all. Hold the ball out and dive into the couch over and over again. And I kept doing it over and over, because sometimes try jumping in the air and looking strong in the face. Sometimes you're like, your face kind of goes all over the place, your arms not quite out. But I did, and I hit the couch like hard on my face a whole bunch of times, but it came out a cool photo like this. And you found it, and I think it's really cool. So they edited the background and everything. So
It
No,
looks awesome.
that's freaking awesome. I like it.
I think it fit well for our segment today about how you're a superwoman of Saskatchewan. So
mhm.
that's awesome. Thanks, Amanda, for everything. The only thing I can a few things I took out of today is just what an inspiration you are. I continue to look forward to seeing a lot of your videos and everything you're doing for everybody here in Saskatchewan, to watch you on the sidelines for the Riders, or in the huddle, or for the rush games, or wherever you are. Good luck with all that. Let us know how we can contribute to some of the events that you do. You got your one this weekend. We can go watch you on Twitch with your brother,
Yeah.
and to do that. And yeah, we'll continue to follow you. I know Charleston always ends our shows with some kind words.
Oh, so Amanda. This is the Better with Age webcast, and the reason we call it the Better with Age webcast, because there's many things that get better with age. Just like you said, a woman doesn't peak until she gets from her 30s to 35-ish range. So it's not that when you're young, it's the older you get, the better you get, the more mature your body gets, the more you get that grown person strength, is what I call it. But the reason we call it Better with Age is because there's many things that get better with age, whether it's wine, whether it's whiskey, whether it's leather, whether it's cheese, whether it's me. By the time I hit 40, I'm gonna still be getting sacks. But
Yeah.
Amen.
but the most important thing of them all is friendships. And I'm glad I had a chance to meet you. Now I can go back and tell my friend that, yes, I met her. Nah, she's this cool person. I can introduce you. You can say hi and say how much you like her in her career. But I'm glad I can call you my friend, and thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm just inspired by you guys to keep going. And if you guys need my support in any way, if anyone listening needs my support or my expertise in anything, honestly, I'm a tweet away or an Instagram direct message away, and I love helping people. So reach out.
Yeah, and what's the best way to reach out to you, and anything else that you want to promote or anything like that?
Yeah, you can definitely find me on Twitter at Amanda Bollick. You can find me on my website, amandabollick.com, which is just a play off the word anabolic, means to build up muscle. On my website, I actually feature strength and conditioning programs as well as speed training programs. I'm kind of different than a lot of people doing just fitness. I don't do a whole bunch of weight loss. I do speed, power, and that's what I'm really good at. So I want to help people do that. You can find me on Instagram at Amanda Ruller, and those are the best ways to find me.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I think that's That's it for today. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Charleston. And we will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.